Hello there, Sirius here, and good morning. Hope you're having a good one and that you're doing something for yourself. And for me, gaming is that thing that I've rediscovered for me lately, where I just do something for myself to relax and help myself for a moment, to just shut down and recenter myself. In the past, whenever I would get anxious or scared, I would do some things that I'm not proud of, that weren't helping me in the long run. So going back and actually just playing video games to try and relax is definitely a big step for me. And if you, like me, enjoy video games, do not shame yourself. I've done that for a long time in my life, where I would shame myself about playing games. No more. I'm fully committed to enjoying video games as much as I want from now on. That's the beauty of being an adult. Although you should always make sure that you're not overdoing it, of course. So, we last built our monastery and it is running pretty well. The field is perhaps a little bit too large for it, so we might cut that down just a little bit. I've also noticed that the fence is facing the wrong way, so we might be turning that around. I think we're gonna start with that. Let's select this. And how do we do this? Turn the other way? Yep, there we go. Then we apply that. Alright, so if we were to make this field any smaller, how would we do it? Perhaps we'd cut off some here on the side, so we can put another. Not sure. There's room for another field here. I don't know how many fields I will want to put here, but vegetable farms are actually quite beneficial, so having a couple more doesn't seem like a bad idea. Alright, so I'm thinking let's make the cut there. Like this. But we're adding a little bit up here again. There we go. I did notice a few interesting bits here about the pathing. I'm not sure why they stopped going through that path. It might be because the berry bush grew there. So we're kind of like going around the corner there. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to try to fix it. One thing I'm realizing is that I do not like these trees here. I will get rid of them. I will keep this one, but the rest I will get rid of. It's generally not a bad idea to just paint some forbidden zones in areas you don't want people to walk. Because you never quite know if they might start walking through there. Alright. I also noticed that almost nobody is taking this path. This path has become sort of almost obsolete. And I'm thinking I will actually move the gate so that it becomes a bit more of a straight path. So let's go ahead and move that gate if we can. Okay. Yeah, this connection here is a little awkward, but we'll figure it out. For now, let's just figure out the gate. Let's put that there, and then I suppose we'll move that a little bit. So we can do more of a straight line here. There. Supply that. That means a big chunk of the wall has to be rebuilt, but that's okay. They've also finished removing all the resources up here, so now we can think about how we actually want this intersection here to work. Of course, having a bit of a plaza in front of the church seems like a good idea. And then we need to figure out where this path goes to. I have no clue yet. So we're just gonna leave it at that. As you can see though, the path here is already kind of disappearing. It seems like everyone just favors going this way. I don't even think it's that much faster, to be honest. I don't think going through here is that much faster. If you have a village center, it's probably faster to just go straight through here. At least if you want to get to the church. They seem to have a tendency to really just follow the most treaded path, and there's nothing bad about that. In general, it's a good design feature. I just think that, you know, it could also just start prioritizing the shortest route as well. That said though, it allows us to get rid of some of the paths that are a bit undesirable. Alright, let's figure out what else we want to do with our little village. We have 37. It's not exactly an even number. We might have space in one of the houses. Let me check real quick. Yep, we have space. So let's take one person in, and I think it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna get this one guy. So now we're 38. We seem to be positive, even without the mandates, which is good. I always try to stay positive, even without the tax mandate. Start building this on the veggie stand. It provides prestige. This one doesn't. Honestly, I would like to change this, which I think it's possible, but it is going to require the resources again, so might just leave it. Alright. I'm also going to remove some of these trees that are just a little bit too close to the main path coming in. I think this one as well needs to go, but looks like I have to. It's kind of finicky sometimes to make it so that you can actually remove it. There we go. They're growing a little bit too close to the path, which I'm not a big fan of, so we're just going to remove all of these things that are growing actually directly on the path. I don't mind a few trees lining the path, but if they're too close, they're going down. Our path up here, our gate here is built now, so we can actually finally build the path. There is a little bit of a bug in the game that if there's a tree planted in a location where you build something, it's just still going to grow. And I've had trouble actually removing these trees. Like I think it's actually impossible to remove them. You're just going to have to wait until the tree is fully grown, so that then it can be removed. But for now, we have our path here, so let's go ahead and paint the path we want. If you want to draw a straight line, sometimes what you can do is you can just align things, right? So let's remove this. struggling with the controls there like a noob. If you want to draw a straight line, sometimes you can just align things and then click and then just move the camera. And here's your straight line. In this case, this was not exactly where I wanted that to go. Let's try that again. Aha. And then from here, sometimes it may also not be desirable to have a straight line. Just a few imperfections here and there, right? I am trying to make this a straight line though now. As for here, maybe it should... There. I think that's good. We'll see how they choose their pathing based on our new forbidden area here. Where did you come from? This guy is a miner. He works here. Oh, but this stone is depleted. Ah, okay, so the stone is depleted, so now we're going out here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to... Oh, I just saw that. Got 5 tools. Okay, so we're going to move this. We're going to move their workplace. I don't exactly want them to go to this stone right now. I much rather them go to this stone here. So we're going to move this. Actually, why don't we just move this here? This'll create the plaza that I want to have. I am tempted because it's going to create the plaza I want, and it's close to both of these sources of rock. Obviously it's roleplay focused. This is stupid, but if we're thinking about efficiently creating, you know how it leaves behind like a scar on the ground, if I want a plaza here, doing it like this actually seems, yeah, like let's do it. Sometimes it's good to just use your, right, you just draw the whole thing in, and then if you think about making a plaza here around one, right, just right click like this, and there's your round plaza. And now you can take your path down here. Right. Okay. Which means we will probably want to build the gate here as well. So while that's going, I'll put a gate there. I'm gonna put that here actually, I think. And we're gonna make sure they're going there properly. Alright, that should do it. Another thing I've noticed is we're running a bit low on tools. Yes, we did get that one influx of tools there, but we're starting to really be a bit low. So how are we going to go about the tools? We could start putting the smithy here. I want to have the smithy here or there. And we're gonna move the wood industry. We're gonna move the wood industry this way. Our forest here is almost completely filled up now, so we're going to actually move things out here now. As for the berry camp, it's probably still kind of good there. There's lots of berries in this general area. Yeah, we can leave that there for now. So, moving that. How do we do that? We have our... You can almost not see it, but yep, there is the manor house here. So, I think we're gonna put the industry kind of in the same vicinity, so why don't we just start by moving it? Maybe I'll also just move the manor house somewhere else. I'm not sure actually, now that I'm thinking about this. The reason I wanted the manor house there is because obviously there's like a good hill here. No, we're gonna keep the manor house there, and we're gonna move the wood industry to somewhere else soon. I'm not 100% sure where we're gonna move it, but for now we're gonna put it up there. It's not going to stay up there, but for now it's a good place to have it. So where do we put this? Yeah, let's put it there. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a storage place there, maybe. Should I? No, I don't think they need a storage necessarily yet. We've got porters down here, and they should be able to bring the stuff down here. Let's see. We could have one more carpenter actually, so why don't we go ahead and assign the person we just recently hired. As far as workplaces being close to living quarters goes, it can be difficult to get everybody to kind of like live close to where they work, but there's a way to do it, and you'd basically expel them from their house. It's kind of seen as a workplace, so it says dismissed from workplace, but you're actually dismissing them from this house. That's fair. So if I want the woodcutters to live here, what I need to do is I need to locate them, right? So in this case, we can either click here on the person, then look for their place, or we can go into our population, sort this by job, go to carpenter, and then, you know, we can click on wherever houses. As you can see, all the carpenters live very far away from where they work. As for the foresters, the forester also lives pretty far away, and then the woodcutters live sort of far away as well, right? We probably want all of them to live here. So that's 3 here, 3 there. We want them to live here and there probably. So let's see if we can make this work. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pause the game. Oh, nice, great, happiness for villagers. Let's before I forget, let's get some levy taxes here. So you have the game paused, and then you're going to expel them. So then the next circle where they're looking for houses, they're going to look for houses that are a bit closer to where they work. Oh no. Let's fix this. Why do they not go through? Why do they go around? That is... I'm gonna have to be very careful with this. Okay, now I hope they're gonna go through. Okay, so we're paused. And as you can see, we've left a big scar here, but that's okay. Because if you remember, we sort of wanted to have a circular plaza here. So we're just gonna build houses here. We're gonna build probably the blacksmith is going to go here. Let's fill this again. Right, so this is where the path is supposed to go. And I'm getting a bit sidetracked, but oh well. So I also want to have that round plaza here, right? So that's the center of the plaza. Make this look a little bit less disgusting. There we go. As for over here, yeah, that works. Yeah, so I want that round plaza. I'm not sure round is the best choice here, but eh, why not? I like it. Alright, so where were we? Right, we wanted to expel people from their houses. They're gonna be a little unhappy about this for a moment, so maybe it was not a good idea to go ahead and levy taxes. It should be fine. Okay, now we're gonna find the carpenters who live here somewhere. There. I'm gonna expel them. And the woodcutters. There's one more carpenter somewhere. No. Am I blind? Oh, yeah, this guy. This guy looks different from the others. So that should, in theory, work. Of course, there's no guarantee that it would work, but in theory it should. In theory. Okay, while I was waiting for the houses to get reoccupied, which it looks like you're the wrong person. They sometimes don't do what you want them to do. They'll sometimes move back into places where, you know, they're not supposed to. But when I was, while I was waiting for that, I was checking on this path up here, and I'm realizing that they're going the long way around. Plus, I'm realizing that I don't have a big enough church, so we need to fix that too. So I've started to think that perhaps this building here is not actually an archway. It's not actually fit to be walked through. So we're gonna have to move it out of the way, which is frustrating. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate it this way. It's gonna take a tool again, but oh well. And now we're gonna fix the path. We're probably also gonna want to fix the gate. Because if that path there is actually, that looks good. Path that is over this way. So now we need to fix the gate. I was never too happy having it too far on the corner anyway, but yeah, there we go. That should fix everything. And so while we're waiting for the houses to be filled, we're going to be working on our church because we need to upgrade it. Alright, here we go. One giant and expensive church. As you can see, the plan for it is sort of a cross. I couldn't really add anything here in the back to make it longer without it looking weird. So I just added the scriptorium back there. I'm pretty sure later on I'm gonna unlock some buildings where it's like a round corner. So hopefully by then I can replace this because it does look a bit ugly from the back. I am kind of proud of this design though, so we're gonna build it here. I moved the church just a bit because the terrain was a bit uneven where it was previously. Right, so if I move it back there, you'll see it was a bit uneven. And the towers were like a different height. I suppose it's not that bad, to be honest. It's not that bad. Maybe I'll keep it here. This gives me a bit more space around it. Did want to put a cemetery in this general area. And I wanted to do a little bit of beautification around the side here. This gives me some space for a building though, if I want to build something more here. So I'll keep it there. Changed my mind. I'll keep it there. But do I need to make this tower a bit taller then? I wish there was a way to like make everything even. You just really can't make everything even. I'm also kind of covering up the fact that these buildings are peeking out a little bit by just adding a cross on top. And I keep having to rotate this. There's a little side entrance here. Might be nice to add another side entrance on the other side, but for now, I'll just add the one. We're also not going to build all of it at once, right? So, definitely not. Definitely not. Or are we? I mean, it's going to retain its function, right? So, here goes. Oh my lord, this is going to take forever. And we're going to run out of tools in the process. And out of polished stone, I think. It needs 50 tools. 100 stone, polished stone, 480. Oh my lord, okay, this... this is bad. Okay. We could halt the process and in the meantime just build a wooden church down here somewhere. I just really would like to build this giant church. So that's what we're gonna do. How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? We can probably buy some tools. Can we also buy some polished stone? No, not yet. We'd have to unlock Kingston Abbey, so we'd need to build more crosses and everything. Okay, I see. We can probably get a bit more splendor by just, you know, building the graveyard. Everybody's gonna be a bit pissed with that the church isn't actually done. Oh well, okay. what actually requires the stone? I don't even know. Ah, it's this gate here. You know what? Let's remove it. Not sure where the other 5 polished stone come from, but it's probably the gate in the front. This one. Yeah, because it's not just using the other one. It's building a whole new one for whatever reason. Okay. But now we don't need to worry about the stone, we just need to worry about the tools. That is something. And here's how we're gonna deal with this. I'm gonna keep things paused for now because I don't want to run out of tools. There's 2 ways we could do this. We can either unlock hunting and just sell our meat and buy tools, or we unlock the tooling workshop, which we're gonna need some iron, which requires a lot of people working in this industry. So personally, I'm thinking we're gonna go with unlocking butchering, and I'm going to prioritize these butchering buildings over this. And as you can see, we have a little bit of hunting there and no hunting here, just like I thought. There's too much industry, but we have a bit of hunting over here. It's gonna be enough for now. Bit of hunting down here as well. Obviously not perfect, but it'll do. Now, I want to use this spot that I have here. Put the butcher. Since I already have a scar here, the problem is that it's at a slope. That's like the main issue I have with it, is I don't like building on the slope. Foliage being in the way is another issue, and there's growing trees here, so that's kind of annoying as well. Could also just put the butcher here. You know, I don't hate putting it in the town square. Check. Yeah, I mean it fits in there almost perfectly, so why not? Yeah, why not? Why not put it here? I mean, it's a town square, right? It feels right at home there. Moved in a bit closer though. Yeah. That works. Gonna have to adjust the forbidden zones a little bit. Make sure I exclude this area. Alright. I like that. This is in a good place. This is going to be free tools. I'm going to change the roof color. Let's make it blue. Yeah, why not? Alright, I'm going to build that. Change this roof color as well, actually, now that. can I not change that? Oh, because it doesn't require construction. Okay. Right, so the butcher is gonna be real close to the storage. And now for the hunter building. We can also then assign the meat here. Store maximum. The supply chain is going to be interesting. I think I'll want the butchers to get the meat. I'm not sure. It would be better if it was stored here, I guess. Well, for now, let's build a hunter hut. There it is. Maybe another 2 tools. Maybe we're gonna build that here. Or just cram it in here. And it probably take some path here to get there. I think we're gonna cram it there. I don't want to put it too far away, right? Because the butcher's gonna have to walk there to get their meat. So I don't want to have it be too far away. So we're gonna build that as well. And then we're gonna prioritize this one. Build that second. And then we're gonna start working on the church. We're gonna speed things up for this progress. It's going to take a while. Oh, and before I forget, we should also get the butchers and hunters, and we need to build them houses. Alright. I completely forgot. Okay, so we'll need 2 butchers, 2 hunters, and I think it's 2 or 3 butchers. I know it's 2 hunters, so let's get 2 hunters. And then 1 butcher. So now we're gonna have to think about houses. The workplaces are mostly in this area. We've got some empty space back here, which we've cleared, so why don't we start putting some houses in this area here too? Yeah, I think some houses here will be very nice. So we're gonna need, how many do we need? Okay, so we're gonna have to fix this. Okay. And this is also bothering me. When it comes to houses, they never really quite do what I want them to do, but I'm thinking, let me use this brush. Thinking I definitely want to add some houses along here, but I don't want to have them too large, right? Like I want them to be kind of the same size as that lot there. What we're going to do is we're going to take this forbidden area out for a moment. Same with that one. And then we're going to put this house kind of they always leave a little bit of space around the edge, so I like to paint directly up to the roads. this should become a house. Pretty sure it should. And then the path can kind of come from here, right? Through there. I don't know if we're gonna keep this round thing here. Maybe we're gonna keep like a bit of park area here. It doesn't seem like such a bad idea. Alright, I feel like I'm pretty happy with that. I cannot tell you if the forbidden zones that I've drawn in here are going to be enough. I wonder if this is going to work out the way I'm imagining it. It probably won't, but hey, let's press play, see what happens. Alright, so for whatever reason, no houses are being built, even though there is demand for it, and I don't think there is any other spaces for houses, so we might need to fix that. Okay, we've got a house here. It's taking up a lot of space, but that's okay. As you can see, right, it's not going up all the way to the road, which is just how that goes. I'm just not sure if we're gonna have enough space for another house next to it. Gonna have to try to cram one in here. Okay, they've built another house. This time it's a bigger plot. And it goes a bit closer to the road, so I'm happy with that. Let's now work on our forbidden zone. Okay, this is certainly not everybody's favorite activity, but I actually find it quite calming to go around and try to exclude specific areas where we're supposed to walk and where we're supposed to not walk. The way I do it, or the way I've started doing it just now, is that I'm thinking about, you know, where could the paths be through the housing blocks. It can help to differentiate between different housing blocks like this. I could probably, and this is something I might actually do, I could probably cut this bit away. And then just see if they will build another house there. They might not, because as I said, they usually need a little bit of leeway, but as you see, actually it's fine. So they usually build houses, and then there's a lot of space around it. So like this house, as you can see, it's so small, the footprint is really small, but it won't build it again in this small footprint, because it always wants a bit of breathing room. And I wonder if this is because of the walls and whatnot, you know, that it's going to want to establish at some point. But we're just going to try, right? I'm gonna put another plot right here. About roughly the same size. Maybe even a bit bigger. As you can see, this is probably a little bigger than the other one. And I'm almost certain it's not going to actually build a house there. Even though technically it is a little bigger than the other plot. Alright, so we're gonna try to see if they'll build more houses there, because we need more houses. I am trying to reserve some of these areas, like over here, right? This area here. I'm trying to reserve them for some interesting buildings like the bakery and stuff like that. I don't want to fill up my market square. I've plotted out a couple of roads here that they are able to take. Not sure about this one up here yet. Okay, I'm not sure if this house is going to be built. We're still going to try. The house up here should be built. This here is another good spot for something like Honestly, like a guardhouse would probably go very well here, considering it is kind of going up toward the castle later on. So I want to keep this free from being walked on and from houses being built there. It's a good sized plot for something in the future, for whatever we plan to build there. We have a bit of a space here for maybe like a small garden or something. Anyway, let's see what'll happen if we're gonna build houses there. We obviously need the butchers. They're building the houses now. Steward of the bishop is approaching. Okay, good. Maybe we'll get some of the construction material we will desperately need. And we're almost out of tools now. Okay, 2 butchers. Okay, that should be everything covered now. No one should be unemployed. Oh, we have 1. No, you're a butcher. What is it saying you're unemployed? Ah, there. Just needed to cycle through. And the house is being built in here, so that's great. Well, we'll have to see about the other one, but I doubt it. I doubt it's going to be built. It's too small of a plot. Okay, so we can deliver herbs and berries, and we will get some bread and some influence. We're gonna take it. But yeah, 15 we can unlock this trade route. That could actually be good. We can sell a bit more of our herbs, vegetables, berries, and we could buy some polished stone if we need it. And it'll also get us a bit closer to unlocking Davenport. So we're definitely gonna do this. Pause. Confirm. Pause. So it doesn't degrade, because I think our maximum is 10, so it's going to slowly start degrading. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to unlock that trade route. And so they're going to buy our herbs, and Northbury is going to buy our herbs, which means we probably need a bigger herb garden. Or maybe just upgrade these guys. They're gonna have more needs though, eventually. As we upgrade them. I wish you could lock the tooltip and then check on the brother what their needs are. Anyhow, that's the trade route completed. We do have some surplus in herbs, so there's that. We should probably work on this fence as well. It's definitely too long now. There. Oh, and this thing still paused. We're gonna start working on that now, which is going to take a lot of stone, a lot of it. So it's going to take quite a while. And it's also going to require tools. So we're going to have to start buying tools. And we're gonna make sure we always have at least 10. I don't want to overbuy, because they're quite expensive. How much are they? Tools, 6. So if we buy 10, that would be 60 gold. So quite expensive. Oh, we should track our meat. Track this too. Alright, do we need a villager? We have one available slot here. Getting the mining done quicker, I think, wouldn't be bad. The question is just, are we going to build a house out here? That remains to be seen. If not, we're gonna have to fix it somehow. Maybe we can convince them a little bit more. Okay, here's one of those houses where the orientation of it I really like. I like the garden plot and everything. What I don't like is where they enter it, right? They just cut straight across and walk through bushes when there's a clear entrance here. So you could obviously just build a fence here, but we're just going to actually now work on excluding this. Something you can do first is actually this. So you can get the green zone as close to the house as possible, so you know where you can paint. Right? And that's the extra space that I was talking about that they just need. So you can see we can cut off so much, and the house is still able to just stand there. Of course, if you want to have a less dense neighborhood, you wouldn't be doing this. In my case though, I'm doing this because I want this to be rather dense. And eventually, as you cut more off, like so, it's going to tell you that the house is going to be destroyed. Yep, so that bush is definitely part of the house. So now that we know exactly the size of this plot, right, we can even cut off a little bit more there. Now that we know the exact size of a plot, we can work on deciding where the entrances to this plot are, and so we're gonna close here. I'm not going to show this process every time, but I think in some cases it could actually be nice to just see how it's done for some people. Maybe you're new to the game. This should still be enough room to walk through. We're not going to be able to walk through this fence, I think. I think they don't walk through the fences. I'm not 100% sure though. And then we will want to also... let's make this nice and thin. Exclude here up until... you know what, actually let's exclude all of it. And by my reckoning, this is how much space you will need for a path. just about. And if you go back to this brush, it's going to now tell you, oh no, you've cut off too much. So now you're going to have to figure out where you've cut off too much. Maybe I cut off too much down here. Yep. And now it's fixed. That should do it. So now they should only be walking into the plot where I want them to walk in. And this is too small of a plot, I think. With one... No. You don't have a homeless. Maybe there was space in this house after all. Huh. Okay. Well, in that case, let me close it. We'll eventually find out if they're gonna build a house there or not. Alright. But yeah, neighborhood's growing. Eventually I'll want to build a wall so that I can get everything a little bit more dense, you know, but for now this is fine. Alright, so we're out of tools. We already know that. We need to buy them, so now we need storage space for it, which that means we're gonna move the storage from here, probably. Move it there. Because if you don't have a spot where you are... Actually, no, we could just do tools. So let's empty this stock. And then, you know, they will obviously bring that here. But where are we gonna put the others? One thing we could do is we can take wood out from here, because having some planks here is okay. And then we're gonna want to build a second storage warehouse over here. I'm still kind of hoping that I could just, you know, upgrade it instead, because there is the upgrade. So you can actually put a second plot, which, see, because they take workers and they take upkeep, I'm thinking about just buying the addition. Yeah, let's just buy the addition. Okay. Wanna buy the storage improvement. And now we can go in here and we can, let me actually, before I forget this, store maximum. So now change this to wood, store maximum. The one guy seems to be a little overwhelmed, like it's too much work for the one guy. Anyhow, now we can go in here and we can build an upgrade. And it needs to be close enough, which is kind of sad because it would be nice if I could just build it over there. But it needs to be close enough, and it's obviously going to eat into the ground, so we might put it over here. Alright, I've decided to move it. We're going to move it out here. And we're going to move our industry, our wood industry up here, basically. The wood storage camp here is full, so we're going to improve things by building this here. Because then it's not as far to walk. And I think we're going to move this. The Great Hall. It is obviously fitting quite well up there, but how does this not leave a scar? That is interesting. But perhaps we're gonna finally put this somewhere else. It seems it seems reasonable to put it at the town square, to be honest. It just seems a bit fitting. Right, get it away from the industry, put it out here instead. Maybe give it some room. Change the roof to blue. We're gonna have to build a treasury and a bailiff's office and so on top of it. But for now, I think we're just gonna move it as is. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's take one more person because we have one space. And I'm probably... Okay. Ooh. Getting some stone and some cloth is not bad. However, this is a bonus that seems like it applies indefinitely. Does this run out? Because if this is forever, then it's the best one here, because 10% better prices is really good. Let's see if that changed things here. I don't see that it did. Yeah, we have no access to service. I know, we're working on it. I also kind of like how there's a path forming right here through this. So maybe I actually will move this a bit. I'm not sure if this path is going to stay, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, honestly, this path is kind of nice. It's a cute path. We're also producing more berries than we need, which is not a bad thing, honestly. Okay. Everything evens out. Emissa doesn't have a job. Yes, that's true. We wanted one more transporter up here, or is there anything else that I can think of? Yeah, let's get a transporter here. So now we have our industry up here, which, you know, I think that works really well for us. And we're out of tools. So now we're gonna have to wait until the merchant comes. Oh, there comes the merchant for the church at least. Let me quickly check. So we will sell herbs to them. Are we gonna sell vegetables? Yes, we should sell we should sell berries actually. We have so many. Okay, berries. Berries. Where are we? Berries. Berry brew. Berries. Sell. I'm gonna keep the vegetables because you never know. It might be good to have a stockpile. As you can see, there's only 0 in here and the stockpile is at 49, so having a bit of a stockpile isn't a bad idea. We're not producing enough herbs though. This needs to go faster. We could probably I don't know if having another planter would fix it, right? So if we add another planter, if it's gonna take a tool, so I don't know when that is gonna be built. I don't know if another planter is going to really make a difference. Where are you going? Why? Oh, that's right, because he's getting this stone and then he's... Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is... What's this? Right, there comes the merchant. I am curious about the prices. Berries are supposed to be 1 per piece. Okay. 6 herbs for 20 and 13 berries for 15. Yeah, see, that's great, because berries are supposed to actually be 1 per piece, right? And herbs are supposed to be 3 per piece. So these prices are definitely now better. That is great. That is going to help us out in the long run. Okay, but I need the other merchant more because I don't have tools. Okay, so I just made sure that I can actually accept tools. So we're gonna put tools here. We've got a quest here. We can sell some wood. Labor influence. If we... No, we would lose that. Okay. Sure, we have enough wood right now, so we might as well. And then this time we're immediately going to confirm that. So I've put tools here, and now when all the building materials are up here, I'm wondering if perhaps I should move the builder's office as well. Doesn't need to stay in the town square. Thinking about moving it here, right? There's some good space here. So because it doesn't need to stay in the town square right now. So town square is now going to officially move away from production of foods, of production materials, more toward production of foods. We're going to have other food producing buildings here eventually. Maybe. We're going to put you here like this, maybe. Or maybe we're gonna put it here in front of the storage, kind of make it look like it's part of it. Yeah, yeah. Let's still got there, right? So now that looks, it fits. The only problem, of course, is this is a bit far away for everybody working here in terms of living situation. So what I'm thinking about is maybe potentially... actually, it's not that bad. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not even that bad, right? Like that path. You can actually check. Carpenter works 75 meters away from home. That's not bad. 98, 59. Okay, so 98. Where do you live? You live all the way over there. Okay, well, it's still close. If we put like a direct connection, that could be made better. And so what we do is cut in here and see if they'll actually walk through. We'll just have to see if they will. They might not, or they might. But yes, they are allowed to walk through here now. So potentially there could be a road forming here. Okay. Honestly, now that we're building the new church, this stonecutter camp right next to the church, thematically, actually now makes sense. Because, well, yeah, you know, they're cutting down stone in the general area and bringing it directly there. Seems reasonable if you ask me. We're just gonna have to be careful because we might run out of stone eventually. I mean, there's still a lot here, like 600, 700 something. But we're eventually going to have to unlock the bailiff's office. Oh no. Oh no. They're starting to ignore this path. Okay. No intersection for you guys. Don't need more people. Of course you could probably grow your population faster. I just like to take my time. Really like taking my time with all this. And yeah, this path is not being utilized. I don't know if it's maybe because it's... don't have enough space for it. It's probably more down to the fact that another path is more beneficial. Eventually though, this path might start being used a bit, and if we want to, what you can do, if you want to prioritize a specific path, right, what you do is you temporarily close something. Then we should start seeing an improvement in them taking this path down here. You just don't want to do that too long. Just enough so that... oh. The trader was here and we completely missed it. Alright, so we bought tools for 60. Sold planks for 13. Now we can continue building. And they're starting to put the roads together the way I want them to. You just need to be careful that this road doesn't degrade. So I always like to keep an eye on it. Creating a nice little intersection here. Yeah, now that this path is a bit more established, you can start letting them through here again as well. Alright, and it so happens that for the purposes of building a merchant stall here to sell meat, it fits perfectly next to the butcher, so it almost looks like it's the butcher selling it, and I absolutely love the detail of that. I love that detail, and yeah, that works out perfectly. So let's build this. we're also starting to build our splendor a little bit, right? We have a 1 tent, it's gonna be the second tent. We're doing it slowly. We could obviously spam these items and then, you know, get there faster. We've already got our market tender here. But now, of course, we are above the housing. So now it's going to be interesting to see if that house over here is going to be built. Let's give them a bit more space. Insufficient housing. Yep, I know. You have a plot right here. It's probably not big enough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not big enough. Also might want to move this. Kind of thinking about moving it like this instead. Or here. Or maybe like this. The way I put it kind of like sideways there, it was bothering me so much. No, I don't like it anywhere. But you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna add this. Oh yeah, see, now I like it. Now I like it. Now we're gonna add that. Okay. Yep, that is nice. And then we're gonna make this a little bit taller. Because we can. And yeah, I like this. I like this. There's some space here for maybe some stables. Is the orientation good? Well, we're gonna have to be sure of the orientation. Okay, so there's also this interesting stable building here. The roofed stable. And as you can see, we actually have some good space here for it. That actually works out really well because, you know, obviously visitors will have to put their horses down somewhere, their little horsies. And we need splendor, so there's a stable fence. You could put that there. And then of course, I always forget that control clicking works. See, maybe we're just gonna close it off like this. Then no one's gonna walk through there. The stable is not functional, it is just decoration. As far as decorations go though, I think it's actually kinda neat. Especially when you consider, yep, someone's gonna have to put the horse down. So this works perfectly. It is going to need a lot of tools, but we're getting a lot of splendor out of it. That's plus 12. I don't think we have a good spot for the lever crane here. It's weather vane. It's kind of, yeah. Alright. I like it. We're just gonna have to do something about the accessibility. So apply that, and now let's work on the accessibility of... I guess we'll just do it like this. Okay, I'm happy with this. This is really nice. We're gonna prioritize it. I know the church is important, but... yeah, actually, no, the church is more important. And this stall. is quite important as well. So we can start selling some meat. Okay, and yeah. This is not enough space for a house. I need to fix this right now. One way to fix it would be to buy this plot and just give more space. This is not the next plot I want to buy though. It really isn't. So what is another way I can probably fix this? I could fix this by just making the plot longer. Which is what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna make it longer. And hope that with it being longer, it's big enough. Alright. Assign them. Still not enough space for them. I have to make it as big as necessary. We could also try if they take different plot. Like we could try if they would, if it would go down instead of up. That could be interesting as well. Move that there. So whichever way they are going to build the house, I'm fairly certain they're going to be able to squish a house in here now. And whichever way they are going to do it, we're going to keep it. But yeah, there should be enough space now. Come on. Yep, there we go. Okay, we're gonna keep this. But let me just make sure we close this. And let's make sure there's enough space to walk through. Just about enough. Alright, perfect. And then make sure we cut that. Alright, that should do it. Yeah, I know, I'm deleting your house. Scared. Okay, so we can recruit one more person. And we might want to start looking at a tax office because now we're starting to have a decent amount of villagers, so perhaps the tax office is going to be next. Oh yeah. I like this path here that created itself. Sometimes they create paths that are actually really neat. The whole randomization of them just doing whatever they want sometimes creates some neat little things like this path. It's also sometimes called a desired path. And yeah, it's It's neat. Alright, church is coming along, as you can see. I'm not sure about the trees. Not sure why they didn't chop those down. Maybe they were still growing trees. We'll see. Definitely mostly lacking tools to continue. But we're about to buy some. Great. Up here I've kind of changed things to that the planks should be taken out from here. From the left storage and brought to the right storage. So that instead we can have wood here, planks there. Eventually it's just going to be wood planks. No stone or anything in there, but we're gonna need people for that first. It's gonna take a while before we can... Alright, bought planks. Okay, now there's no planks in here anymore, so we can say stock maximum and change this to wood. Right? And so the goal is eventually that it's going to be just wood and planks. We might still move this industry further into this forest as we buy the tile. If we are gonna buy the tile. The reason I would want to buy the tile is because there's iron. I wish you could just... Can you... Resources... Resource tracker... We're starting to have too many berries. Which is good though, it's good to have too many berries. It's definitely not a problem. Down the line we'll want to make some berry brew, so having too many berries does not bother me. Alright, we're selling some stuff. I don't know why they're not buying any berries though, which they're supposed to be buying berries. Right, berries, but somehow sell everything above. They're just not buying them, unless they already did buy them at the other storage facility. Yep. We've already sold berries this month. Are these merchants coming more than once a month? Because I can see that they came like twice. Are they coming twice a month? Anyway, we were more than positive last month. just with the quest, and even if you take the quest away, it was still fine. Right. Do we need more villagers? That's a question. We can take one. We have space for one. There. And now we can decide what we want to do with one more villager. Tax office, right? Tax office was something that I was considering. The tax office needs fortification, and if we are going to build something like the tax office, it might actually prove to improve a little bit the density. I can't talk right now. So if we take the tower here, right? We might be able to get a couple buildings upgraded. Sadly, we'd have to build it very far over there to get all three. But you know, if we were to put it here, make it a bit big. How big would it? Oh, that's pretty big. Okay. Is that too big? I don't know. Is that too big? They say it can never be too big, but I think this is too big. I'm curious, does the other tower provide more? Right, this tower is a lot bigger, but it does not really provide more. Okay, but 2 buildings is already not bad. It's a shame about the other. Could put the tower into the fence like so. That is honestly not that bad. Let me figure this out real quick. Right. So I played around a little bit, and quite honestly, I actually really like it. I might make it taller though. Yeah. Yeah. Now the window is a problem. Mm. Is there any way for me to not have a window there? Make it smaller. That's the solution here. Okay, we're just gonna accept it as it was. So I kind of really like this. Provides a little bit of a, you know, as you come into the village, it provides, well, first of all, there's still that bush. As you come into the village, it provides a little bit of something to look at if these trees weren't there. So we're probably going to get rid of those trees now. If you do a free build, I think you're just going to be able to change the function of it later on. But what you can also do is you can just build one part of it and leave the other one for later. Right? So it's just planned. So it's not built, but it's planned. Oh, look at these two. They definitely look like a couple until they are when they separated again. Okay, so I see some pathing here. That's good. That's good. This path here again not being used at all. I'm not happy about it. We could close this off again for a minute. But whatever. Anyway, yeah, I don't dislike this, and the tax office is going to provide some fortification. So if we then build the barracks, we would be able to actually upgrade 3 houses. Which, that's nice. Plus, of course, the tax office will give us some more income. That's going to be good. Alright. I like it. Should we prioritize it? Probably, yep, we should probably prioritize it. And overall, this entire section here, as I said, it's going to be kind of nice as you come into the village. You're going to see that tower, and you know, there's like this little gate where you can go through. If you have horses, you bring them here. It's nice. It is pretty nice. All right. Should we just store more berries? Might as well. Where was I? Oh, there was something I really wanted to do just now, but I don't remember. Really don't remember. What was I going to do? Whatever. Oh, I've been a dumbass. I completely forgot to assign meat here. I just noticed that my happiness was going down heavily. And I was wondering why. I thought I had kind of staved off my service not being available by providing refined foods, but turns out, nope. So hopefully now we're going to be able to fix it. We have a surplus of meat. Are we selling it? Are we selling it? I think we're not selling it. Yep, okay. Let's sell as much as we can. We probably want to do something like we want to have at least 30 remain. Yeah, let's keep at least 30. Alright, so people can start getting some meat, so now their happiness should go up. I have a monastic food is having problems. Shouldn't be any problems there, but let me see. So, why are you not eating? Ah well, it's not that bad. We're up to 43 again. Providing some refined food definitely is helping out. Definitely helping out. Alright, and it's done. Alright. Well, it's not done, but, you know, close. Close. We're gonna have to make sure it's accessible, right? You can also probably get rid of this. I've also moved this market stall a little bit, creating a bit more space here. Might move them both out of the way, just a smidge. But we'll see, we'll see. Oh, we could have 2 tax collectors in here. Alright, we can get some gold. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Alright, our tax office is completely done and it has the weather vane on top of it. I kind of feel like it needs more stem to stand on, but whatever. So we can now assign our tax collector, which it's not, yeah, very productive, but oh well. It needs 2 tax collectors as well. I have no idea. Yeah, that is a good idea. I suppose if we made it smaller, we would only need 1. But we've planned for the future, right? Okay, let's do this. We should be able to get this, our builders, pretty good. Okay, so we've got some labor splendor. Technically, we could now unlock this trade route, which we can sell stuff to them that we don't really have, right? But we could buy some stuff from them, namely iron and coal. This could actually help in producing our own tools down the line, so yeah. Because tools are 6 gold, right? And well, we can buy 5 iron here. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to create your own. It would be nice if the game actually allowed you to be like, okay, I'm buying iron and coal and I'm making my own tools, but it's not really worth it, right? I think we're gonna have to see about that. Anyway, we're gonna unlock it. And we should probably think about making our own tools now. But that is something we're going to figure out next time when we're back. I think we've made a good amount of progress. There's still some things that are being built, like our manor house is still being built, the stables are being built. Oh my god, the sound of that of that butcher is ridiculous. And of course the church is still not done. It is still a big work in progress. But we knew that was going to happen, and it's just what it is. We're going to be waiting quite a while for this to be done, but we're almost there. We almost have enough tools for it. Almost got everything other than stone. Stone is really the biggest problem here. The biggest hurdle. But hey, they're doing what they can. We've got 3 people working here, and they're level 4, 4, and 2. I think we're doing a decent job. So, I shall see you next time when we are going to hopefully finish the church. Bye.